People of the internet, I found this video and I saved it so I could watch it with you guys. Apparently, Joe Rogan and Tim Dillon are competing for the biggest idiot, and we're going to see why. So let's check it out.
The misinformation that Joe Rogan puts out, even when it's benign, is really, really problematic for our society. It's a problem across all the internet. But Joe Rogan and Spotify, his publisher and financier, they have one of the biggest platforms in the country. So when he puts out misinformation, it is a problem, even if the specific stuff is not that important. Like, here's a perfect example from just the other day. He's on with, who's this guy?
Comedian Tim Dillon.
Is he the one? He wasn't the one from Saturday Night Live, is he?
No, that's Shane Gillis.
Oh, okay.
I think he was thinking of Chris Farley. I'm just saying.
They both have L's in their name. Rogan could have a very good fact-checking staff.
He could.
Because he's extremely wealthy. Go ahead.
Yeah. When someone is in that whole race and running for president or vice president, and then the race is over and they realize that person was a liability, so they cut them off.
And you never hear
then that
from
person
them.
goes wacky, like Tim Walz.
That's right.
Did you see where he had a "fuck Trump" shirt on?
Yeah.
And he's dancing and going down an elevator. Have you seen this video?
I haven't seen. Please play it. I haven't seen it.
Please, Jamie, find that
Tim
video.
Walz.
Okay. I can already see what's going to happen. There is no way a politician, and I think Tim Walz is governor. I'm not like super up on politics. There's no way he's going to put a fuck Trump shirt on and then go and do a dance. This is obviously like Joe Rogan. I already know what it is. Joe Rogan fell for AI once again. You guys want to place your bets? Place your bets. Throw down the money. I got $1 million on it. Come on now. I put $1 million down. You could put a couple bucks.
But this is weird.
That was a big mistake.
Oh, a huge mistake.
They should have picked Josh Shapiro from the governor of Pennsylvania.
I think they're worried about the Jewish thing.
Well, of course. It's a big swing state.
Pause it for a second. This is honestly like, it's like a Gordian knot of stupidity here. Like, because you're going back and forth. First off, the data gets clearer and clearer that the F up by the Harris campaign was they did not recognize the polling and actively told their canvassers not to deliver us the data that the Gaza position that Harris had was hurting them. Okay, that is just pure fact. Shapiro would have made that problem even worse. It would have compounded it.
I was going to say something about the G word. YouTube does not like when you say the G word. But I'm going to respect all of you out there. I don't believe in any politicians. I've said this a jillion times. I think people that do, well, you're in for some heartbreak for the rest of your life. Constantly. Over and over again. Because they never do what they're going to say. But when it comes to the Middle East and that region that we call the G word, I'll say it like this. There's only one position, I think, what's going on. I'll let you figure it out.
If you look at the first part of their campaign, before the DNC, when Walz was going around going, they're weird, that is the peak of Harris's polling numbers. And when they shut Walz down, also very well reported, that was part of their decline. Now, maybe it's not directly attributable to it, but it disproves everything they have said up to this point. And it only gets worse in terms of being disproven.
That's actually not what we're reacting to.
That's not what we're reacting to. Yeah. This is just the tee up to the absolute facepalm.
Jewish thing.
Well, of course, it's a big swing state, and it would have been better.
Okay, you go full screen. On
Is that
this.
really him?
No, it's not real.
All right, guys, last time to place your bets. You can match me if you want to, but I got $1 million on it that Joe Rogan falls for AI. I haven't ever seen this. I haven't seen this video. I haven't seen this Walls clip. I am just... This is classic Joe Rogan. This is classic Joe Rogan. I feel like if you are still listening to Joe Rogan and looking for something serious to take away from what he says or his show, let's just say if you take him seriously whatsoever, right? You take Joe Rogan seriously. Just go ahead, put on your hype booster shoes, go buy you a bow, eat some elk jerky. You don't really have to do anything. It's just better to keep you occupied with shooting things, catching plastic balls, jumping into frozen water, whatever it is you want to do. Just keep doing that. Keep you occupied so you don't hurt society. Because I feel like Joe Rogan needs to stay now. Because of all these people that follow Joe Rogan are unleashed upon society and don't have this cult of the Rogan sphere to be in, I think they'll do even more damage than people are doing right now. To the world, to the human race, even to the small little animals. Anybody else like baby penguins? I keep seeing these TikTok videos, right? And they have that stupid song that's like na 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 na, and it's just like, there was a baby raccoon trapped in a sewer drain. I rescued it. It followed me home. And then I had a raccoon pet. And I've been thinking about that a lot lately. How come I've never had one of those moments where, like, dude, how badass would it be to, like, get a wolf? Or, like, I saw this one lady got a cougar. Could you imagine having a giant cat that was just, like, hanging out with you? I had a Great Dane up until last year, and it was 170 fucking pounds and was just... That thing could stand up and like put its arms on my shoulders. It just like, it was awesome having this big animal, even though they ruin your couches. They're just so big and they like just naturally just plod and plop and jump and basically destroy everything. But I would love to stumble upon like one person had a bear. Dude, if the bear didn't fuck you up and it like loved you like its parent, bro. But I feel like that's not something you could bring around your friends, or the bear would get all territorial and fuck up your friends. But still, I really want to have one of those moments where, I saw one yesterday where they were going down the speedway and a dog was on the back of like a 5-ton or 10-ton truck or whatever. I don't know trucks, but it had like a big old plastic wrap over the top, and the dog was on the top, and he jumped off, and this person went and rescued it, and then the dog rose up, and it can smile. Bro, a dog that smiles. It's like these people not only like have this awesome like rescue, like cool ass animal moment, but then the animals just bring more surprises because you rescued it. Anyways.
It's real.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Hear Jamie saying
it's
no,
real.
it's not.
No, look, I can tell it's not real.
I would love it. It's real.
It's not real.
It's got to be real.
It has to
Really
be
not
real.
real.
It has to be real.
Jamie,
Come on, man.
Jamie's compromised.
Look at him dancing.
That's, I mean, the
That is so real, Jamie.
By the way, if this was real, he might have won.
It's probably a real person. It might not be Tim Waltz. The fuck Trump is AI generated.
no,
on a
he
white
slaps
shirt.
his ass.
I mean, that is
Oh
hilarious.
my
definitely.
God. First off,
This is
pause it,
100%
pause it,
real,
pause
Jamie.
it.
People. is this Sam Seder? I don't really know this show. I just randomly saw this video when I was looking at things about comedy. But here we go. I just want to point something out, which I'm sure Sam is going to point out. You know, when it's AI, I don't really have social media, but I look at TikTok stuff, and it always says like made by AI or generated. You know, it always tells you that it's AI. So I won the bet, okay? But I'm betting you there's going to be some kind of labeling of it. I just think Joe is losing his mind. He is absolutely losing his mind. He just seems like an old man that sits on his porch, and as the days go by, he just gets crazier and crazier. This is when you have so much money that you're not in touch with reality. When you start acting like this, he is so far removed from reality that he can't even figure out the simple things or like read. If you saw something like that, one of the things, and I'm sure it's built that way, that I hate about TikTok is when I see something that I'm interested in, or you'll see some claim. The good thing about TikTok is it writes out like long paragraphs and you could read like all the info. If I saw that, I would like look at the info, look if there's any links. Sometimes they attach links to it, figure out the story. I would definitely look if that was AI too, because there's no way a politician that is active in an active role in a government position could ever make something like that. Unless it was Trump. Because if you look at his Truth Social, he'd be posting some wild shit. But outside of him, because he lives in his own world and just gets away with it. Outside of him, no politician could do this. You should automatically know it's not real. There's no way a politician could risk his current position, his position with his party, his position with his donors, contributors. Maybe he has sponsor, or his city. I mean, I said that last because, these politicians, the last thing they think about is people. So, what else? How does it even make it on the Joe Rogan? You know what? This is it. Jamie is the king of the trolls. He is just letting Joe Rogan. He lets him, but is he trolling? Is Jamie like the ultimate troll? It's like my theory on Brendan Schaub and dude, it's so unimportant. I can't even think of the other guy and the fighter and the kid. He just I can picture his face, but you just forget about him when you don't see him for a little while. Like they're ultimately just trolling, but they're not capitalizing. It could be immediately kind of like shut down because they really haven't capitalized on the money. Now, if the money was on point and if they had like Patreons, they had like email clubs, they had like 10 channels, they had a Discord, like the whole shebang, and they're maxing, the troll theory, seems more plausible. But maybe they are just the talent. And they're just not good with money or marketing. So the theory still needs to be disproven.
Think of where your brain has to be to think that is Tim Walz actually doing that. Like, you have to be so far gone.
Yeah.
In the bag.
Yeah.
Because if Tim Walz did that, he would be committed. Like literally.
Yeah.
Anyone
He'd be in a lot of
around
trouble.
would be like, you've had a mental break.
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
going on?
He's the sitting governor.
Still the governor of the state.
Amazing.
It would be like that where they used to pull people off the stage. You just see it come out and he'd be in a lot of trouble, and they'd probably find some way to keep him away for a little bit, or they would find some way to remove him.
Governor of the state.
Going
And
around Mall of America.
his first reaction. Rogan is so desperate to believe this is
weird.
true.
That's spooky.
So desperate. Like he's literally arguing with the producer. So desperate to believe that this is true that all reason has completely left his brain. But it also turns out like it's literally labeled AI generated. But go ahead.
I like that he's afraid of it. He's like, it was weird.
It was weird, man. I couldn't.
I was aroused.
I couldn't. It was. I mean, no.
So I place a lot of judgment on the fan bases of these people, and I get a lot of pushback, and people say, I look at several things. When a fan base is completely psycho, like they're the people that every time something's said about that person, they got to run to the comments and fill it up. Or they got to downvote somebody's video that says something bad about whoever they're, idolizing. If they seem real cult-like, if they can't accept other people's opinions, if they want to attack everybody that doesn't like them, even like the things like, I just don't like that guy. Oh my God, how could you? You must be a liberal or a conservative, right? I think when people's fan bases are dumb and just really terrible, they exhibit those behaviors. But one other thing I look at, and you look at the Rogan sphere, one other thing I look at, if you follow a man like Joe Rogan, who tries to be this like interesting, curious, like man of the world, letting everybody, and you believe that shit, right? And you look at a guy and he falls for this shit, and he's just trying not to be mean, but he doesn't seem very mentally capable. And so you look at the fan base and you go, wait, you're idolizing, like you have this cult-like behavior for a man that's pretty stupid? Now, you could say he's a smart businessman, but look at all the con men, all the people in the sales position. They're not very smart, but they're dumb enough to con you, right? They're dumb enough not to care about conning you, telling you a lie. Like, they don't have conscience because they're not smart enough. And you look at Joe Rogan. You see that rings true. And then you look at your fans, and then you go, wait, you guys idolize a dumb man? Then you must be dumb. I'm not doing the maths wrong on this. I'm not doing the maths wrong. I just take one plus the other one and it equals dumb. So before you give some critique or feedback, I urge you to analyze the situation. Analyze it, and you will realize it is true. And I know it hurts to call somebody dumb, but the whole internet is stop playing like you're righteous. Like my favorite line from a Rob Zombie movie, I think it's Devil's Rejects. Rest in peace, Sid. And he says, I calls them like I sees them. That's just the reality. And you wonder why I make these comments about the fan base, but it is. Dumb people are easily irritated. Dumb people can't hear anybody else's opinion but theirs. Dumb people want to attack anything that they feel threatening to their identity, their existence, everything. They get set off easily. They go and antagonize people. Do you not see the correlation? You don't see my fan base out there crying everybody's comments. Tons of people don't like me. And that is okay. Not everybody likes chocolate milk, even though chocolate milk is one of the best beverages in the world. There's people that can't stand chocolate milk. That's just the reality. And I'm proud that the people that follow me don't act like that. Even though sometimes I might get an urge or two, I usually delete it. I always troll my own comments. This is my house. Trolling my house, I think, is a good way to troll the people that troll me in the comments. I think it's a good way to do it in your own house. But anyways, just another rant. That's how you can tell dumb fan bases, because they act just insane and totally dumb.
But it's real.
It's not real.
It's got to be real.
It has to
Really
be
not
real.
real.
It has to be real.
Jamie,
come on, man.
Jamie's compromised.
Look at him dancing.
I mean,
That is so real, Jamie.
By the way, if this was real, he might have won.
It's probably a real person. It might not be Tim Waltz. The fuck Trump is AI generated.
no,
on
he
a white
slaps
shirt.
his ass.
I mean, that is hilarious.
Oh, it's definitely him. This is all 100% real, Jamie. You're a plant by the
Jamie's
government.
compromised, and I'm worried about Jamie, and I'm worried about Grok.
Does it say that it's AI?
I mean, yes.
You say it's AI. Everybody says
The
it.
video I played on top says it's AI generated.
Rep Riley.
I told you I think, I don't know, but it's like whenever I see AI, it's always there. And it might be some new social media rule. I think it's a good one for shit like this. Because I even see like, yesterday I saw, is her name Angel or Angela Reese? I don't follow the women's basketball, but it said that Shaq, who is the president of Reebok or some part of it, I don't know, president of some group in Reebok, it said Shaq canceled her $52 million review. And I was like, that's a pretty crazy thing to do, right? That's a pretty crazy thing to do. And it wasn't AI, but just to show you, there's tons of shit out there to confuse you. And so I went and looked it up on the internet, looked to see if there's any news on it. And then the other AI on the Google said that's made up, because they usually, like, if you use Google, which is, we all know about Google, but besides the point, it has AI at the top, and it'll usually give you like a summary with links to articles. Yeah, man, why do you guys not research shit? Why do you just believe it? If something is curious or there's some big news break, take the extra 2 minutes and type it into whatever search bar and then click on news. If it is something that devastating or big, there will be news about it. Especially the WNBA and all the attention Caitlin Clark and like all the drama in the WNBA. That would be written about by every sports thing. Yeah. I mean, protect yourself on the internet.
Moore fell for an AI-generated video of Minnesota. I fell for it too, and you know why I fell?
Okay, okay. No. Pause it there. He's going to explain to you why he fell for it. And you understand, of course, think of the reasons why you could fall for it. It could be because he has a deficiency, or it could be, of course, completely not his fault.
Fell for an AI-generated video of Minnesota. I fell for it too, and you know why I fell for it?
Yeah,
because I believe that he's capable of doing something.
But that's his
dumb.
Essence.
He's so weird.
He's a weird guy.
Proof that he's weird is that I think he's so weird that would be true.
What did Chris Cuomo say about AOC?
I think it was the exact same thing, that it seems like that's something AOC would have said.
Yeah.
It is like just fascinating how I go to the next clip. Just to give you another example.
Okay.
There's another clip. This has nothing to do with politics, but it does have to do with misinformation.
Good. I think the politics, man, None of it works. There was a time where I used to believe, man. I used to believe that things could be different. No longer. I think we have to start with our world and just help those. And if everybody could start in their world and help those around them, I mean, that's the whole world. And the thing is I would also like to get rid of this like social etiquette. I believe in the things like opening the door for people, holding the door, saying thank you. I always say thank you, especially people that are working hard or have a hard job, right? I believe in those like social courtesies, but this whole like pretending we're moral and like, can we cut that out? Because we're not. We're all failures. I don't know why we can't admit that. We all want to pretend. We're perfect, but then do a different thing. And I think if we get more in touch with realizing what we're capable of, but also realizing how much we fail to get there and embrace that, I think we could do better things for people. That's what I believe in. Because the better you're doing with yourself, emotionally, all this stuff, the better you are in society. But since we live in this world of lies, and we tell ourselves all these lies, and we pretend, and we put our masks on, we're just hurting ourselves more. And thus, that's why we lash out. That's why we end up in these big conflicts. That's why there's a class system. Because everybody's too selfish. And it's understandable, too. I'm not saying I'm not above it. But I think, fuck, who knows? Honestly, who the fuck knows? That was just where I'm at in my life thinking about it. But honestly, 10 years ago, 10 years from now, I'm going to think that shit was stupid, and I'm going to have another theory. Maybe the point of life is not to know the point of life.
And I don't know how I came across this, and I don't know who this dude is.
He's a podcaster who podcasts on the fringe of free thought or something.
Okay.
Oh, interesting.
So, like, and listen,
Also, I don't know about this guy, but are these guys like Democrats or independents? I don't really follow this show that often, or really any news show. Yeah, I wonder. I just definitely not Republican.
So this stuff is okay. Like, I used to listen coast to coast. I used to listen coast to coast.
Coast to coast, yeah.
And George Norrie. And
Well, good show.
if you are a major corporation and you have a guy who's out there.
So I used to, I spent a lot of time in college and as a teenager. I spent a lot of times on the weekends running like up to ski resort. It was a big one, like a real good one. It was like 4 hours from me. And we would all get in our cars and like Friday night, like drive there late at night, get in, sleep so we could get on the mountain and like hit the first lift and get a full day in. So we spent a lot of times like leaving Friday night, and then we would come back like on Sunday night to get to class on Monday. And we spent a lot of times like late at night, and we'd always listen to Coast to Coast. That shit was wild. Shit was wild. Man, life does go by. I would do anything to relive my college years and do it even better than I did. Even more road trips, more snowboarding, more skateboarding. I had a friend who was a pro skateboarder. I knew a couple of them that all lived in the area. And I don't know if it was just, I think it was my first and second semester in college. Dude, I would get all my classes because these guys wouldn't wake up till like 10, 11, 12. So I do all my classes from like 7 in the morning to like 11 or something. And then we would skateboard every day, all afternoon. Then we would come back, smoke weed. Oh shit, man. Dude. I had a mini ramp. I think my last year and a half in college, I had a mini ramp in my backyard. Dude, so many skaters. One of the guys that skated he was like part of the city skate crew, like considered like a really good guy, which turns out he was. He became absolutely huge, signed by like a ton of massive companies, like just living the dream. He might be at the end of it now, but he used to skate my mini ramp all the time because I had a good mini ramp, and it was really easy access. So they would just hop the fence, and like from the afternoon all the way till late at night, people would be jamming that all the time. Bro. Those were the days. And you know what's crazy about that? Is I just wanted to get out college as fast as I could. I wanted to go get a job, start adult life. But you know 420? 420. At my house, every 420, I'd have these parties, right? With that guy, that skater friend. And we would literally, like the day before and the morning of, we would just spend baking. We baked pecan pies, brownies, cookies, Rice Krispie treats, cake, everything for 420. And then we'd have 20 people, 30 people in the house. And then right before 420, everybody would grab something to smoke, whatever, a bong, a pipe, a dab rig, whatever. And we'd all stand in a big circle. We'd all smoke. And we'd all hang out and be high and just talk. And time was our friend. Now 420, pop by the weed shop, buy a $5 joint. Realize after 420 at like 8 o'clock, and it was 420. It's just life, man. It's not fair. We waste our youth. I didn't waste my youth. I just traveled, got my degree, traveled more, did what I love. I just wish I would have done it better. I wish I would have second guessed myself. At times, I wish I just would have gone for it. There were times where a lot of the time I just went for it. I didn't care. I knew early. I didn't figure it out, but I knew I had to do something, and I couldn't. Like, I knew I had to travel, and I knew you can do it. It's so easy when you're young. Just take a backpack, go to a foreign country, wander around for like 6 months. Bro, that's what I did after college. Man, I just wandered around for 6 months. Nothing but like a medium-sized mountaineering backpack. Rode trains, rode boats, planes, to saw places, met people. Have you ever done couch surfing? Go to couch surfing. I think it's couchsurfing.org. Couch surfing is the best. You just can go on and find people in the city and ask them if they have like a spare room or a couch. That's cool. Or I did this in another country, which was I wanted to learn. You can volunteer to like live in and work on farms in exchange for like board and food and like a stipend or something. That's fun. You just farm during the day and then you go kick it with people at night. Get out there and travel, man.
Who has access to people like, I don't know, the President of the United States, top officials like, like huge billionaire corporate titans like Elon Musk and whatnot. You have a responsibility as a corporation. I mean, he's owned by a corporation, Spotify. They have a responsibility to make sure that they're not putting out total garbage bullshit. Listen to this exchange.
Yeah, the thing about the like, if you think the moon landing was fake, you're a moron. But it's like, the thing about it is, even if you want to say
did he just call Joe Rogan a moron? I just want to know if I heard that correctly. If you think the moon landing, he said, if you think the moon landing is fake, you're a moron, right? Did he not know Joe Rogan's position on this? Because I think he just called Joe Rogan a moron.
they did to go to the moon, wouldn't it be reasonable to suggest that they would have had a backup plan in case they couldn't get there? Like,
Sure.
like have some sort of a video footage that they shot or whatever.
Well, not only that, they filmed a lot of training footage. And
Yeah.
they definitely tried to pass some of that training footage off as legit. That's proven. Like the
Pause it
Michael
for a
Collins-
second. Okay. This is going to come to a shock to everybody, but it is not proven. It is not proven. And here he's going to give the example of Michael Collins. And I will tell you, this is not the first time Joe Rogan has said this. Go ahead.
From Gemini, I forget what mission it was. It was a spacewalk. So there's an image of him that was in training, and he's got the suit on and the wires, and he's working with the spacesuit that you use when you're actually in outside of the capsule or whatever the fuck they call it. And what they did was, from the training mission, they just blacked out the exterior of the same photo and reversed it. So they switched the photo the other way, blacked. It's the exact same photo, and they tried to pass it off as Michael Collins on the spacewalk. Because you got to think, like, how are they taking pictures?
Right.
Who's going to take the pictures out there?
I don't know. Like, I really don't care about this. There's a lot of like stuff about it. I think there's problems here on Earth we should figure out. But if you, I don't know why anybody doesn't take this position, but if you wanted to like show a possibility that's not real, just look at all the false flags for conflicts we've had. But like, honestly, I don't know. Is this important to me? Not really. Not really, but it could go either way, I think. People like to promote fake stuff all the time. Especially the government.
Pause it. They actually have ways of they use robots to take the pictures. But let's look into this. Joe Rogan has been saying this at least, and I have to say, I did not spend hours on this, so I don't know. It took me about 7 minutes to find the following information. One, Joe Rogan has been making this claim since 2017, at least. That is, somebody fact check me on this, 8 years ago. He has hundreds of millions of dollars. Everybody says like how curious he is. That's what's interesting about it. He's curious. He is curious, but not when it comes to finding out if it's actually real. It's just like little brain blips go off, and then he's willing to spend zero amount of time to pursue this. He is curious and the most lazy, intellectually lazy, and saying intellectually sounds more grandiose than it is. Yeah. He's just like mentally like just I can't even come up with a lower bar.
He's looking for content.
You remember what I was saying? Dumb people following dumb people. I mean, this guy is saying, we're not even talking politics, because I know there's going to be you that, this is a liberal or conservative take. Not everything's politics. This guy has stepped away and just looking at who Joe Rogan really is. He's just looking at him, observing. He's not looking at politics. He's just looking at him. And he notices what I noticed. So if you ever see me say something about the fan base, know that it's extremely accurate. It's been researched, and behavior analysis has been done to point out peak dumb people behaviors. And if you can get 4 out of the 7, it's probably true.
So this is what he's talking about. This is the photo that he's talking about. Scroll up. This is, incidentally, this is from 2009 on Coast to Coast. Photo 1. Yeah, scroll down now. Okay, photo 1 on the left is the actual training photograph. And then photo 2 on the right is what Joe Rogan claims it is. It is like, it's not Photoshopped because they I don't know, they had Photoshop at that time, but whatever. They black it out. They black out the behind and they've flipped it. And where was this photo from? Did NASA release this photo? Go to the next page. Okay, here's the original picture from the book, and the caption reads, oh, incidentally, the book that I'm referring to is this astronaut's autobiography. There it is, Carrying the Fire. And he did it himself. Whoever it is. They superimposed it. In the book itself, and again, this is also in the Slack. Let's look at the image in the Slack of the text. Yes, let's pop that up. This is from Carrying the Fire, the book. One of the great disappointments of the flight was the fact there were no photos of my spacewalk over to the Agena. He's admitting there are no photos of his spacewalk in the book that has that picture on the cover. What with camera malfunctions and John's understandable preoccupation with keeping us from hitting the Agena without firing that bad thruster, whatever its number was, all we had was the film from one movie camera, which was pointed straight ahead, in which automatically recorded an uninterrupted sequence of black sky a few feet below the Agena. In the second half of the 20th century, an event must be seen to be believed, and a description of the trip without pictures seemed anachronistic at best. I was really feeling sorry for myself, unable to produce a graphic documentation for my grandchildren of my brief Sally. It goes on. You can read this book. It's on Google Books, incidentally.
Hidden information. Page 253.
NASA never released this picture as a picture of the spacewalk. It is just a graphic. It took me about, honestly, 7 minutes to find this information. And he has been espousing this conspiracy theory for 8 years, at least, as proof that they'll lie to us to our face.
Yeah, it's funny. He obviously it's disproven that it was never released. It came from the book. Okay. From what we seen of the research that Joe Rogan didn't do. But he'll talk about this stuff like, oh, they're crazy. What about the Epstein files, dog? This is space. Who cares about space? This is down here. And that's some way wilder shit than that. You know, they always try and distract us with the aliens and the space and the pyramids and that whatever buried city that he always talks about. But never with the stuff right in front of our eyes, huh? Tell me he has not been bought and sold.
Documented.
It's documented true. I saw it on George Norrie's website in 2009.
That's a real thing. Now, the people that want to deny that that's a real thing, you're doing a disservice for everyone.
Really? Does he even have a concept of what a disservice is? None of this information is like, particularly like, okay, whatever. But the point is that like, when you start to say that the government was just bald-faced lying, like they lie so easily, they'll take a obviously Photoshopped picture. And you can confirm this because the real picture is in the guy's autobiography or memoir.
He talks about the production of it.
And that's how bold and brazen their lying is to you. So you don't think that they would lie to you about the COVID vaccine?
Or when he says the 7 straight mass shooters were trans?
It's just, yes. He does not care.
He knows that things that sort of pique curiosity are good content. That's his only interest in any of this stuff. And he's squatted this for over a decade now of being the curious guy. But he doesn't actually have any interest in it besides the fact that it gets him attention.
But don't you think that somebody would say, like, hey, find a different example? Like, wouldn't you, like, if you had a shred, like the slightest shred of integrity or the slightest shred of like responsibility? Society has, my audience has paid me, through Spotify and other mechanisms, $500 million, maybe more. Don't you feel like at one point during the course of the day, you'd be like, I sort of have a responsibility to hire some schmo? I don't know. I mean,
no, because all the politicians, all the crooked people, the people on top, they lie to you. So no, they don't care. They don't care at all. This is par for the course. I'm telling you. I mean, it's just everybody's lying. Everybody's lying. And those that try not to make a considerable better attempt at it, they're the ones that never reach the top. Because in order to get to the top, you got to lie. Yeah, that's it. Or if you're one of those anomalies that gets to the top doing you, then you probably lost out on a lot of money.
You mean some spoil sport?
Yeah, like, hey, dude, I've been saying this for a long time. Will you just go fact check that? Like, before I go and say it on air. Or you might say, hey, I did the show today. Give me a report on every claim I made and just fact check it for me. And just make it like really short. I don't want to have to read, just give me one line.
That would add a 4th hour to the next
And let me
episode.
know if there's any patterns to the type of thing that I fall for ideologically.
Like, I mean, what would that cost him? Like, you could probably find somebody in Austin or remotely, even for that matter. You could pay them $60K a year. Yeah, you could pay them $200,000 a year. And
you can them and feel them at Brian at majority.fm.
And he or she, but Rogan would not notice that $200,000. Like,
it's in his couch cushion.
Honestly, yes. Like, if I leave here with 2 quarters in my pocket and I get home and I'm like, hey, what happened to those 2 quarters I had? Like, it would have to be like a nickel and a dime. That's what it would be like for him. But he doesn't care. And maybe he actively is just like, I'm going to spew this stuff and I got the cover. I'm a comedian. Anybody who listens to me needs to have their head checked.
See, even Joe Rogan tells you that. So if you follow Joe Rogan and believe in him, that means you're extra dumb. Because he's telling you the same thing I just told you.
I'm going to go smoke a cigar. You guys figure it out.
All 19 million of you should be listening to me, ironically.
Exactly. And when Spotify paid me that $200 million, they're like, this is a satire. Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.
Okay, there it is. There it is. I liked how they got away from the politics really quick and just did just a basic analysis of Joe Rogan. And spot on. Spot on. The guy was very well spoken. He put it all together for us. He didn't have to use politics. He just looked at Joe Rogan, the man. Isn't that great? Can we make fun of people more without politics? It makes for a good environment. All y'all wanting to bring up political shit all the time. Even though I was considering doing another channel on politics, but it'd probably just make a lot of people mad because I'm not Republican or Democrat. I would just say it like it is. And say it like it is. And slay, bitch. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comments, please.